Hey there, let's talk about our project for Unit 4. This is project number 2. I'm calling it the Fictional Character Budget Activity. And so, what I want you to do on this project is you're going to choose a fictional character and you're going to create a monthly budget for that character. And we'll get to figuring out the value, which is the first and most important thing. So, I've given you 3 different lists. There's some of the same characters. Most of the figures are similar, but I don't care. You can just pick it. So one of those lists is from comedy.com, and it's 29 plus richest characters according to critics like Cruella de Vil and Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development and Jay Gatsby from The Great Gatsby, et cetera, et cetera. Scrolls on down and stuff like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a character, and then you're going to create a monthly budget for that character. So in this case, what I want you to do is their worth is so tremendous, but we're going to imagine that we divide that number by 1,000 because that's all their money managers will let them spend in a year. And then we're going to take that result and divide it again by 12, and that will tell you how much money this person has to spend each month. Now, you're going to use a worksheet here, and you're going to put in that total amount of that income. So number one, you're going to list their income, and then you're going to list their expenses, and then you're going to total it up, boom, and boom. And that's just the budget worksheet. That's pretty simple part. So I'm going to choose Forrest Gump, and on a couple of the lists, I think he's on this one. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. I believe, yes, Forrest Gump, $5.7 billion. From endorsing Chinese ping pong paddles to shrimp boating and purchasing all this stuff, he made more money than Davy Crockett, and that's from the movie. So anyway, so I'm going to choose this character, and it says that his net worth is 5.7 billion. I'm going to divide that by 1,000. That equals 5.7 million that I can spend, and then I'm going to deduct 10% of that. This charity deduction, which is right here, which is for part 2, but I'm going to take that off the top. So I will note that first, then I'll do the rest of my budget. So if I was doing this worksheet, I would take a look at this. My income here was going to be what? It's going to be 5.7 million. So I could write into this sheet here. I'm going to erase this because this is the main sheet, but I could put 5, 7, how much money I would have to spend each year. And then I would go down here and put in my charitable donation of 570,000, and then I'll show you the rest of how it works. Then for the second part, the donation to charity, which I just did, you're not only going to put it into that spot, but then you're going to explain in 1 to 2 paragraphs why. And I did a really brief one. I would want you to do it a little bit more, but Forrest decided to donate 570,000 to continue the fight against AIDS or HIV. You remember that his best friend Jenny passed away from AIDS, so this is the program that he's most invested in. And I could have picked a lot of others. I just picked this particular one. And then in part 3, we're calling it the wish list. And you're going to choose 5 things that your character wants to buy. So a new box of chocolates. He's got all this money, so he's going to buy $1 million box of chocolates because it includes jewels and things like that in it. That's why it's so expensive. A new table tennis set for $3,000. A year's worth of Dr. Pepper in those fancy glass bottles for about $2,000 because it's limited edition. A new pair of the best running shoes. He likes Nike Vaporfly Next 3s. They're $250 each. He's going to purchase 3 pairs of those because they only last for about 4 months for $750, and a new shrimp boat. So I would go back into my budget and I would put in chocolates, and I would put in whatever the other thing is. I would put those all here, and I would list the deductions there, if that makes sense. And then I would go back and I'm going to do some research. I'm going to add up the type of house he's going to live in. Remember, he lives in that big house in Alabama, so I'll just kind of guess what utilities. I can look up utilities in Alabama, things like that. a cell phone bill, groceries. It's just him. So how much do you think he spends in groceries, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then I'm going to take this number, 5.7 million. I'm going to add all these up right here, total them up here, and then I'm going to subtract this number from this number, and that'll get me my total money that I might have left for savings and stuff like that. And that's the project. And then you're going to submit those two assignments um, at the end of the activity um, and at the end of the unit. All right? Does that make sense? Okay. I think that's about it. Just there'll be a quiz after this is over, and so within that quiz, you're just going to answer 4 questions about things that I've just talked about through this activity. All right. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.